Bhupendra Patel casting his vote, but the Prime Minister's cavalcade is turning into towards Nishan School. We'll go full frame to those visuals, please. And stay with these visuals as Prime Minister walks, the cavalcade comes in slowly. You have the SPG, the security detail walking ahead of him. And we'll go back down on ground to the visuals and of course chants of hailing the PM. So that's it. There he is, waving to the crowds and people are waving to him. We try and... Arun, if you can hear us, take us through what you see, because the Prime Minister's cavalcade is now arriving and drawing close to Nishan School, which is the polling booth in Ranip.
Well, Anand, Prime Minister Modi is reaching in few seconds to the polling booth where he will be casting his vote. I can see the first car of the Prime Minister Modi's cavalcade. Perhaps this is the first car which you can see.
We can see the PM. He's rolled down the windows and he's waving to the people. We've got the visuals coming through of the Prime Minister's vehicle, and he's got his left hand out. He's waving to the people. There you go, that hand out, and he's waving to the people. He's sitting there and waving out his left hand. Those are the visuals of the Prime Minister. The other angle as he's passing through. Yes, Arun, take us through.
Yes, Anand. Now I can see 3 or 4 cars. Prime Minister Modi is waving to the crowd here, and these people, Anand, have been waiting since morning. And as we were speaking to people, there were few people who cast their votes, in advance, just to make sure that they do not miss the glimpse of Prime Minister Modi, and they were very early at the polling booth, and in fact Prime Minister Modi is walking. Anand, he is on the road, leaving behind his car, and Prime Minister Modi is, thanking, waving hands to the crowd. These people were bated breath for Prime Minister Modi's presence here on the ground, and Prime Minister Modi has planned to walk for at least 100 meters, before he casts his vote to reach the polling booth. You can see the visuals of Prime Minister Modi, and he's there, in fact, in our cameras as well. Anand, you can see Prime Minister Modi, waving on the both sides of the road. And this is the moment, Anand, for which these people were waiting. Many of them who are not giving their votes. And afterwards, after watching Prime Minister, this is the glimpse. This is everything. This is everything for what these people were here on the roads of Ahmedabad in Sabarmati constituency. And look at the moment, look at the joy. The balconies, the rooftops, everything is completely choco-block. People from all the ages, in fact, some old women are waving hands at the Prime Minister. And Prime Minister Modi is, completing the entire 100-meter stretch to reach the polling booth by walking. And you can see the cavalcade of Prime Minister Modi following him. Prime Minister Modi is reaching very close to the polling booth and waving his hand to the crowds and everyone. This is completely choco-block here, both sides of the road. Prime Minister Modi, as he said that he will be at the polling booth around 9:15, 9:20, 9:20.
Well, I think it's the jammers that have come in close as Arun Danta is speaking, and there is a bit of an interruption. We try and go across to him, but look at the chants of Modi and Zaka. More importantly, look at the palpitations the SPG will be having. Absolutely. Because he's there, out there, totally exposed, walking right on the middle of the road, and the SPG is walking behind him. But that's his confidence and comfort with his people, saying, I'm in my own constituency, I don't need to be bothered.
Absolutely, and I think one of the fascinating things is, you've seen politicians, when they are running on the ticket, they have the ability to sort of enthuse crowds. But in this election, Prime Minister is not on the ticket. This is an election for the state government, and yet he's been in office for 20 years. He is the star vote catcher, the star campaigner for the BJP, and you can see the local BJP leaders who are waiting there to receive the Prime Minister. walking the last 100 meters. This kind of crowd, this kind of enthusiasm, this is what the BJP voter needs. This is what the party was talking about. This is what the government there was talking about, that they need something enthusing for the voters to come out. We didn't see this in phase one, but now we're seeing, at least in this one constituency in Ranip at the Nishan High School, where the Prime Minister is going to be casting his vote. He's walked those last 100 meters. And remember, these pictures are going all across Gujarat. People in other constituencies that are to vote today are watching this. This is going across the country. Kind of message that it will send that, look, democracy is all about elections. It's once in 5 years where voters get the chance to decide who is going to rule them. It's sort of a referendum on the rule of the last 5 years. But I think these images will be absolutely telling. As far as election day is concerned, certainly this would be the defining image of the day.
Whether or not he chooses to milk it politically and how the opposition looks at it, that it's all BJP emblems and flags and Karyakartas standing, where the Prime Minister is saying, I'm going to walk to the polling booth. That 150 meters, I'm not going to take breach security or whatever protocol is to ensure that my cavalcade lands me right outside the polling booth. Everybody has to park their vehicle and walk to the polling booth. That's the normal system. So he's walked to the polling booth and greeting all the polling officials present there as he's walking in, and perhaps encouraging those who believe that mere vote se kya fark padne wala hai, that every vote counts. So if the Prime Minister of the country is going back to his home constituency to cast his ballot in an election which largely does not actually concern him, concerns the state, like Zaka was saying, and the Vidhan Sabha there and the performance of the local leaders, he is walking in saying, I'm going to go back to my constituency to cast the ballot, which is all important. Now, there are a few women, there are a few women who are waiting there, and he's waiting for them to complete.
Prime Minister, they're standing in the queue. There are two women before him, and then he'll cast his vote. Interestingly, this is the image that we keep watching every time there is an election that has to do with Gujarat, or 2014, 2019 Lok Sabha elections. The message is clear that this is the son of the soil who is there to cast his vote, and also a voter of Gujarat. The message is that even as the BJP looks at expanding its footprints or looks at newer catchment areas down south or eastern part of India, but as far as the route is concerned, this is where the story began of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. He was the General Secretary in charge, then became the Chief Minister, and now it is the Prime Minister who's there inside that polling booth in Nishan, in Ranip, in Ahmedabad, to cast his vote.
He's got his polling parcha, the ballot paper. He's got his voter ID with him. There is a matching of the credentials and the voter ID. There it goes back into his pocket, the voter ID, but that polling parcha which he's taken, which is his voter ticket. And following the due protocol, he even told the officials to take their seat and continue to do their job, which is what their responsibility is. There he is, signing on the register, putting in the details against his name, which is there as part of the voter list. And the ink, the voter ink, will now be inked on the left index finger. The ink has happened. There is his ticket. Now he'll go behind, following the ladies. He'll go into the polling machine. That's the EVM there behind, on the right hand side. You see that grey box. That's the EVM, where he'll go to cast his vote. The ladies there waiting to see, can't believe that it's the Prime Minister. A chant for PM Modi, but he's waiting for her to cast her vote. So he is actually asking the lady to cast her vote. I will wait for you to finish casting your vote. You cast your vote and then I will go in. I will follow protocol, no breaking of queue there. So the two ladies and the gentleman ahead of them have already cast their vote. The lady is gone. Now the Prime Minister going in to exercise his democratic right. Perhaps the bigger message is to all those who believe their vote doesn't count, or it doesn't matter if they vote or not. It matters. And somewhere perhaps voter accountability is also important. Voters need to come out and before, as they raise issues, first prove that they have actually cast their ballot, be it at the municipal level, be it at the Vidhan Sabha level, be it at the local body elections like I was talking about, the Vidhan Sabha, or even with the Lok Sabha. At all levels, if the voter has not gone ahead and exercised their democratic right and democratic duty, then should they have the right to come out and crib and complain?